Welcome to the NBA Pub Hub, Pub Sports Radio, Monday, January 2nd, 2023. It is our first NBA Pub Hub show of the new year, and we made it into the new year. That's all you can ask for. Ian Cameron with Skee Profit and with Wham with you on this Monday. You notice it's an OG Monday, but one of our OGs is missing, and it's Dutch. Last minute couldn't make it, but he'll be back tomorrow most likely on the show. So it's the three of us today, Skee, Wham, and yours truly, ready to break it down. We still have a huge card, 10 games in the NBA, and we will begin in Charlotte with the Lakers and the Hornets. We've got Charlotte 1.5-point home favorites, 242.5 the total in this one. I mean, do I really have to say what bet I like in this game? I mean, we've talked about it. The total's already been bet up in this basketball game. And yes, indeed, it's another overplay for me involving the LA Lakers, as we've been doing repeatedly throughout the last several games, I should say, with AD still out. No AD, no defense. Faster pace, more shooting, more scoring. That's basically what you get game in and game out with the Lakers lately. It's just soaring over the total to the clip of six of their last seven. I beg your pardon. 6-1 to the over they are in their last 7 games. Charlotte's actually trended under in 4 straight, but it's largely not really because their defense has been all that great. They gave up 123 to Brooklyn in their last game. You've seen them give up 124, 113 to OKC, 126 to the Clippers. The Lakers and Hornets played each other just a couple of weeks ago in LA, and that game ended up with 264 points. The total was 243, and it flew over the total. I see no reason to expect anything different here tonight. So over it is for me one more time. Skee, Lakers, Hornets.
Yeah, I would agree to expect points. Charlotte's going to play at a fast pace, and the Lakers will probably be okay with that pace as well. I don't like that. And like you said, we already know, no AD, no defense. But from the side perspective, I don't like that Lonnie Walker's out. I always like to see him out there for my Lakers. But I still am not in the business of laying points with Charlotte. They have been playing better defense lately. I'll give them that, but still not a team I trust to get stops when they need it. And not to say I trust the Lakers either, but it's just I'm not going to lay if I know you can't play defense. So just because of that, I'll lean towards taking the Lakers plus the points and the over.
Yeah, I lean Lakers too, actually. I cashed a ticket with the Lakers. Yes, that's right. I cashed a ticket with the Lakers last week against the Atlanta Hawks. It was our final show on Friday against Atlanta. 6-point dogs. They won that game outright, 130-121. LeBron on his birthday, come on, you knew he was going to just be absolutely brilliant, and that's exactly what we saw. And he basically carried the Lakers to victory because they were trailing much of that game, and he was just great, and they roared back, and they won. So, it tells you I can bet the Lakers when I want to, and honestly, I'd prefer the Lakers too, plus the points, than lay it with the Hornets here. Hornets are only 5-12 at home. Lakers actually have more road wins than Charlotte has home wins. So be careful here with this Charlotte team as favorites. I agree with that. What do you think here, Wham?
I mean, what LeBron has been doing, man, he's been doing some good stuff as well, as much as these other young kids that's been going crazy in the NBA. And LaMelo over 3.5 3-point makes is a bet that I did make at -140. I just think that that's something I just got to keep betting, bro. Just as much as you like the Lakers over, I think he's going to keep shooting threes, keep shooting at least 11 of those, and he's going to possibly make 5 to 6 of those. So I like the over 3.5 with LaMelo. But I agree with the over. I agree with that over as well. I've been right there riding with you guys with that no AD, no defense mantra, and it's been covering in the first half, killing. And I cashed every one that I bet. So the only problem here is that it's kind of got away with me. I should have had it earlier at at 118. It's at 119 now. I think I just stay away from the game here in general, but I am on an over 3.5 3-point makes with LaMelo.
All right, good stuff. On we go now. Toronto Raptors, Indiana Pacers. Indiana was 3-point home favorites, down to 1.5-point home favorites now. And the total's been bet up significantly, 227.5 to 232.5 in this game with the Pacers. Obviously, they were a team that early in the season playing some really good basketball. They're still, believe it or not, 20-17, and they've won 3 in a row, covered 3 in a row as well against the Hawks, the Cavaliers, and the Clippers, all on their home floor. Pretty solid run for them. 5-1 straight up, 5-1 against the spread their last 6 games. The Toronto Raptors, they did snap their 2-game home losing streak on Friday night against the Phoenix Suns, 113-104 on Friday. But as we're seeing right now, as we do have a game in progress, and the Knicks are beating the living shit right now out of the Phoenix Suns, 54-31. Beating Phoenix isn't on the road right now, isn't really worth a damn, is it? It's not really all that impressive. Phoenix just stinks on the road. So how much credit can you give the Raptors for that? Is that a sign of a turnaround? I don't know. I mean, I'm not betting this game either way. I think Indiana, I'd probably take Indiana, honestly, before I'd take Toronto. Looks like there's still a possibility that Fred VanVleet doesn't play tonight, questionable. That damn back of his, it just keeps on acting up. He's missed the last 2 games because of it. This is a game I'm probably going to end up staying off in the end. The total's been bet up a ton. I know the Raptors haven't played very good defense for a long period of time, but they have trended under, and it has been a point of focus for them, especially from Nick Nurse the last couple games. But the Pacers have gone over in 3 straight, so I'm really very lukewarm on either side, either total. So not a game I plan to get involved with too much. Skee, what do you think here? Toronto, Indiana.
Yeah, y'all can have this game. It's a backwood.
All right.
There it is. I agree. Tough game. What do you think here, Wham?
I like this game a lot, bro, and I'm right there with you, Bavano. I think the Pacers. I think the Pacers are to play, man. As much as we are the Pacers even better if the season stopped right now, they'll be the 6th seed in the playoffs playing the Bucks. This team and the Raptors, they'll be ice fishing somewhere. You know what I mean? Doing something out there. I don't think they're showed that their potential. We know that the Raptors are better than what they've shown us, so they can obviously bounce back and play really well here, but I'm going to go with the Pacers here. I think the Pacers are the better play in the full game mantra. I think Tyrese Halliburton has shown us that he's really good at taking advantage of this team. And last game, he had 18 points in the 4th quarter, scoring pretty much most of his points all in the 4th quarter. I just think that he's going to be at that pace again today. But the official play for me is going to be Miles Turner. And it's shout out to my boy Moonoff, our boy Moonoff, Skee. He put me on a Miles Turner double-double at plus 275. I locked that in before I hopped on this show. I think that's a good bet. He had 3 consecutive double-doubles against the Raptors. I think he gets it again tonight. He's been alternate about it throughout the year, but I think he's going to be in a good prime position to get the double-double as well. So that is an official play for me, the Miles Turner double-double.
All right, Miles Turner double-double for our guy Wham in this one with the Raptors and Pacers. All right, Pelicans and Sixers. We've got Philadelphia, 4-point home favorites, 228 the total in this game. These 2 teams just met recently down in the Bayou, New Orleans. Pelicans won 127-116 Friday night. It was a back-to-back for New Orleans. They played a New Year's Eve. Both teams did, and then they won they lost 116-101 in Memphis. Philly bounced back, and they beat Oklahoma City 115-96. We'll see how this one goes. The Pelicans have actually fared pretty well recently, head-to-head with the Sixers. Certainly point spread-wise, they've covered 4 of the last 5, including the straight-up win just a few days ago on Friday night. Joel Embiid downgraded to questionable here, lower back injury for him. So that is the reason probably for the move toward the Pelicans side, 4.5 down to 4. With the current number. I do like the Pelicans here a little bit here, road dogs in this one. I always like the idea of them catching points, certainly. And, they're starting to slowly get some of their pieces back. I mean, Ingram's still out, which you definitely don't like to see. Larry Nance looks like he will miss this game as well for the Pelicans. But they did get one of their better defenders back recently, the Pelicans. Talking about Herb Jones, who's, very, very energetic player, really good on the defensive end of the basketball court. So that's a big return for the Pelicans. I actually think that also plays into the total going under. I think I agree with the move on the under as well in this game. And Jones definitely makes them a better defensive team. So Pelicans under for me in this one. Skee, what do you think? Pelicans, Sixers.
Yeah, I agree with what you said. And, both teams, number 1, number 2, defending the 3 so far this season. Sixers last 5 games playing at a bottom 5 pace. It does scare me though, to have Maxey back and maybe don't have Embiid, because that could potentially speed up the pace. But if I'm just going by the numbers and a couple of those guys, like you said, Herb Jones and stuff like that, I want to bet under in this game, but it's not in my pocket. It's just a lean.
There's a great comment by Mo Harris in terms of How do people give out plays and don't watch games? I know there are people that are successful that they don't watch a lick of anything. Like I know people that crush the NFL and they don't watch any games. Like they don't watch a second of the games all season, and yet they're winning left and right. I could never be that way personally. I'm an observational, watch the games better, and I'm a fan. That's why I'm in this industry, and that's why I've been in it for 12 years. I'm a huge sports fan. I love watching sports, talking about it. I can't imagine myself personally being successful, not watching the games, not knowing the players, not knowing the teams or the coaches. I couldn't see myself succeeding that way, but some people do, and credit to them if they cap that way. What do you think here, Wham, New Orleans and Philly?
Yeah, man. I mean, Philly's looking good and getting healthy, but like you mentioned, Babano, he's got downgraded to being questionable. When we see the trend down in the injury report, that's when you start to think that those guys are going to be out. So, expecting that he's going to be out, you look at the Maxey and James Harden team. That only happened twice so far this year, and they lost both games. Shout out to my boy Ronald Caban for that stat as well. That was really good information there. And this is a game that they're coming off of a 4-game road trip as well. So they're probably not even, you tend to take the fade the teams coming off those road trips. I know they're 72% they cover at the house as far as this Philadelphia team. But I mean, without Embiid, it's kind of one of those things. It's kind of just a weird game for me to be able to try to, think that they can win and cover this game. So I kind of would want to say the Pelicans are nothing here. Because I think that they are one of those teams that can find themselves trending up in January for sure.
Next up here, we've got Chicago and Cleveland. The Cavaliers 4.5 point home favorites, 22.5 being the total. Believe it or not, this is back-to-back games between the same two teams. They played in Chicago New Year's Eve, and the Cavaliers got a 1-point win, 103-102 on the road. Against the Chicago Bulls in that game. Now they will play in the rematch here in Cleveland tonight. Still, the Bulls very much bang. Both teams are actually. The Bulls, Caruso, game time decision for them. Derek Jones, game time decision. Javonte Green as well, a game time decision for them. Actually, Caruso looks like he's going to play upgraded to probable for this game. On the Cleveland side, it looks like for them, Darius Garland, doubtful with a thumb injury. He didn't play against Chicago on Saturday as he had that thumb issue going with that game and didn't play. So this will be a second consecutive game that he's out. Probably going to move Donovan Mitchell a little bit over to the point guard, play some, roving point guard duty, if you will, for Donovan tonight with Garland out. And apparently it'll mean Karis LeVert's going to get a lot more time in that backcourt as well for the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight. And then there's Evan Mobley, who is questionable as well. But we do have good news with him. He was in the shoot-around this morning prior to this game. So usually when that's the case, the guy plays. So I think you're going to end up seeing Evan Mobley playing tonight for the Cavs. Bottom line is, I don't care that it's Chicago revenge. It obviously is. They lost by 1 at home to Cleveland on New Year's Eve. But, I don't bet against Cleveland at home. I just don't do it. So it's Cavaliers or pass. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if Cavaliers beat them again. Quite honestly, I mean, I don't trust this Bulls team. It's too erratic. It's too spotty. This is a team that's capable of beating New York on the road, beating Milwaukee, the Bucks at home, and then just shitting the bed and losing to the Rockets by 15, which they did last week at home as well. So it's just too much of this from Chicago. You can't figure this team out half the time. And when Cleveland's at home, and the number's short enough, I could see Cleveland winning and covering. So I'll probably have a small play Cavaliers here. What do you think here, Skee?
I like the Bulls in this game. They just played the other day. They didn't have Garland for Cavaliers, and they barely snuck out a win. I know Mitchell didn't really have the greatest game. I think he was 5 for 16 or something like that. But I just, I still could see. I could see another game where he struggles, and because you can focus on him when it's just him right there and not Garland. And on the flip side, I don't see anybody stopping both Levine and DeRozan, as far as being able to just keep it close in this one. Last 5 games, stats say they've been a better offensive team. They've been a better defensive team. If they can do those things, and it's a same season double revenge spot for them. I think they'll, be the more motivated team. So I'll get the Bulls plus the 4.5 points, thinking it's close if they don't get the win.
All right, Bulls plus the points. Cleveland is, they have lost 2 in a row at the house. We should point that out going into this one against Toronto and Brooklyn. So they haven't been nearly as automatic here on their home floor, but we'll see if they can bounce back and rebound tonight. Wham, what are you liking here, Chicago, Cleveland?
I'm right there with you guys with the Bulls, man. And I locked in the Bulls at +4 as well. I think that the Bulls are a good spot. They have been shooting 40% for them three over the last 5 games. The Cavs has been giving up 50% from three, so they may have a good shot to having a hot game here. But what y'all probably didn't say is that Donovan Mitchell doing all this superhero ball, hero-centric play style, this is just turning the Cleveland Cavaliers into the Cleveland Jazz or the Salt Lake City Cavs. You know what I'm saying? Because this is pretty much the same thing that we seen when he was on the Jazz, as far as Donovan Mitchell. So obviously, yes, you are going to be able to key and pinpoint on what he's going to do here. I wouldn't be surprised if he is struggling, just like Skee said. So both of these guys have been allowing 116 points to opponents in the last 5 games. I am thinking the over as well. It was at 222.5. So seeing it getting bet up to 225, I didn't see it at 225. I thought I was seeing it at 222, but if it's at 225, I think that is a 222.5. I still see it at 222.5 in this game. So I think that's still a good spot. You could probably get over this total. Them giving up 116 plus both of these teams over the last 5 games. I think they're probably going to do that again, especially if it's going to be hero Donovan out there. Just nothing. It's nothing but the Jazz, bro. So that's all it is, I think.
All right, San Antonio, Brooklyn next up. We've got Brooklyn 12-point home favorites, 236.5 being the total in this one. The Brooklyn Nets now up to 24-12 going into this game against San Antonio. The run has been pretty damn impressive. They're going for their 12th straight win. It's been 11 wins in a row for the Brooklyn Nets going into tonight against San Antonio. I don't know what's going to stop this team from hanging a bunch of points, obviously, on the Spurs. We have seen the Spurs, by the way, trend to the over in 7 straight games. And you look at just this team overall defensively, 30th three-point D, 30th field goal percentage D, 30th in points per game allowed. And the scary part about it is for San Antonio, if you actually segment that to the last 5 games, some of the numbers are even worse. The three-point percentage defense is even worse in the last 5 games. The points per game allowed is even worse. They're giving up 50% from the field the last 5 games. So what I'm doing here is I'm doing a split bet. Nets team total over, full game over. That's the way I play it because I think Brooklyn's probably going to do much of the damage here against San Antonio. The one thing about San Antonio is will they be able to do enough offensively to help the full game over? And I will say this. We've seen them put up 122 or more in 3 of their last 4 games, Dallas, the Knicks, and the Jazz. They're all decent teams. They're not great teams, those 3 teams, but they're not bad teams either. So, I could see San Antonio maybe take advantage too of a Brooklyn team that you look at them from a scheduling standpoint. You've played some big games, Atlanta, Cleveland, Milwaukee, Golden State recently, maybe a little flat coming off the New Year's holiday weekend. Defensively a little bit. Maybe that allows the Spurs to get some easier buckets. So for me, it's going to be a split with the Nets team total over and the full game over. The Nets team total, by the way, in this game is 124 right now. What do you think here, Skee? San Antonio and Brooklyn.
I would probably agree. Just thinking that the last 2 weeks Spurs have gone over every single game, and they're just really giving it up on defense, especially on the road. Last 2 weeks, I know they're giving up like 120, a little bit under 124 points per game. So the way the Nets have been scoring, they're the number 1 offensive rated team last 5 games. So I think that's a really solid, logical play. It's just I didn't feel like getting involved in this game, and I didn't want to lay the points on the big spread. So I passed, but I can't talk you off.
There you go, pass. But I'd rather take the over 124 for Brooklyn team total rather than the 12.5. Lay those points. So that's why I went that route. What do you think here, Wham, Spurs and Nets?
Everything Skee said is the reason why I like Kyrie Irving going over 3.5 3-point makes today. He's going to go up against the 29th ranked 3-point opposing to guards today in the Spurs. They've been giving up points already. He's been going over this total last 5 games 4 times, 3 straight times as well. They've been cooking. think brother Kyrie shows up for us today. So go over the 3.5 3-point makes Kyrie Irving plus 120.
All right. This one's fascinating to talk about, this next game. Denver and Minnesota. You got Denver 2.5 point road favorites, 233.5 the total in this game. There's no question in my mind. We know who the better team is right now, and the better team, probably will be in the postseason. That's Denver. There's no question. And Denver's playing some really good basketball right now. They've won 7 of their last 8 games, 7-1 straight up, 6-2 against the spread. They've won 2 straight at home against Miami and Boston. That being said, this is 3rd game in 4 nights. This is back-to-back after an enormous victory against the Boston Celtics. They were jazzed up for that game. Denver at home against Boston, 123-111. And now they're on a back-to-back, going on the road, flying out north to Minnesota, a rested Wolves team after a horrible game against Detroit, 116-104. They lose outright as 7-point favorites. They're not playing good at all. 6 straight losses for the Minnesota Timberwolves entering this game. I mean, everything's telling you should be betting Denver here, but I know how this stuff works. You've got Denver off that huge game. I don't trust their psyche tonight on a back-to-back on the road, and Minnesota's rested and with a point to prove, I think. And Minnesota, despite their issues, with Karl Anthony Towns still out, and very erratic play from the guards lately, Russell and Edwards. Gobert, has monster games, and then he has some, games where you wonder if he's even on the basketball court for this team. But situationally, it screams Minnesota. There's no question about that, this spot. Do I have the guts to take them? Hell no, because I think Denver's just a lot better, and this team flat out sucks right now, Minnesota. So it's a pass for me. It's a long way of me saying pass. What do you think here, Skee? Denver, Minnesota?
I like Minnesota here quite a bit, and I just, Denver's been playing a little bit better lately because Minnesota's on a 6-game losing streak. I know they just had another one of these player meetings or whatever that is, but Denver on a back-to-back. I'm looking at that, and I'm just looking at a team that's real desperate for a win, and they've lost 6 games in a row. You're looking at a 16-21 team versus a 24-12 team, and the line goes from +3 to +2. I'm looking at all that combined, and it's already making me wanting to take the Wolves here. I have short home dogs of less than 3 on a 6+ game losing streak. They are 76.5% straight up and against the spread since 1996 when they're facing an unrested opponent, and that's what they have today. I think they've won and covered 6 of the last 7 matchups as well. So I like the Wolves plus the 2 points tonight, or 2.5 points tonight.
You know what? It's the line for it's take the hold nose, take the Wolves. I mean, it feels that way, and we know teams take night. It happens all the time, especially on a back-to-back. You have a huge win at home against Boston. You think you're as excited to go to Minnesota, and you see that they're struggling, and you go through the motions. It's not like Denver's road warriors. They're 10-9 straight up on the road this year. They're barely above 500 on the road, 8-11 against the spread. They actually have a losing point spread record away from home. So, this is not that slam dunk, in my opinion, on Denver tonight. Not by a long shot, even though Minnesota's just god awful at the moment. It also wouldn't shock me to see them rise up tonight. What do you think here, Wham?
Yeah, I mean, the best thing I can say about the T-Wolves is that they have won and covered 3 straight against this team. So, they do have the historical trend behind them there, and also, stats there. They stink, though, bro. Losing double digits to the Pistons, that's dirty, man. That's dirty, bro. Hold your nose, bro. Maybe you need to run out the damn casino, run into a church, pray, come back, hope you cash, some type of thing. Like, this is terrible, bro. And honestly, Denver have been in this position as far as a disadvantage so far this year 10 times. They covered 7 of those 10 times. They have 2 of the 3 of the back-to-backs, second half back-to-backs they covered as well. I mean, we know that the boy Jokic is going to be playing out there. Is Gobert going to come here and show up? Is he really worth it? I mean, this is just a pathetic team I don't want anything to do with. I'm just not going to lie. Like, I don't want nothing to do with this game at all. This is a damn show backwood. Shout out to my boy Dutch. Not able to be here, but he is definitely back with this motherfucker.
All right.
Even on days where Dutch is not on the show, the spirit of Dutch will always be present when the backwood gets rolled out. Absolutely.
Yeah, don't be surprised if a couple guys wrote out. I didn't check the update. Is Murray or MPJ? Some of
Murray
those
looks
guys.
like he's in. Looks like
Oh,
he's
he's
in
in.
right, at least right
MPJ.
now. Yeah.
Somebody.
Michael Porter. Yes, he's currently slated to go. Yeah.
All right, we'll see. It's never too late in the NBA.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nah, the NBA might be on some weird shit. You ain't lying.
Hey, they
Hey, I
might
don't got
be
nothing
in
on
now.
it, so I don't give a fuck. I'm good. Leave it alone. Leave that shit alone.
They might be in now. Get back to me at 7:58 p.m. Eastern time, 10 minutes before the game,
Right.
and then we'll see if those guys are still in. You know how this league works. Sometimes you expect someone in, and then the last minute you get the old fucking rug pulled out from under your feet, and next thing you know, they're not in. I hate that. The old carpet taken out from under you. That happens. That's happened a bunch to me betting this NBA stuff. When you think someone's playing and last minute they're not. So we'll see if that's going to take place here. Dallas and Houston. We've got Dallas 7.5 point road favorites, 226 and a half the total in this one. So as far as the Dallas Mavericks are concerned, look, actually it's kind of weird what's going on with them right now. But they're in this weird position where they don't cover, they cover, they don't cover, they cover, they don't cover, they cover, they don't cover the last game. Do they cover tonight? Potentially, but I'm still not rushing to lay 7.5. But they've been in this alternating point spread victories type of streak, Dallas here over the last several games. They're playing the Rockets. They beat Houston up pretty badly just last week, 129-114. They were 9.5 point home favorites in that game, and they did cover in that game, but they played 6 days before here in Houston. Houston was a 7-point home dog. Dallas only won by 6. I could only look at Houston here, honestly. Do I love it? No. I mean, obviously the Rockets are not playing great. They've lost 3 in a row, all by blowouts against Boston, Dallas, and New York. Could easily get blown out again here. It looks like for them, Jayshawn Tate's out. I left my wallet in Alperen Sengundo is questionable with the back injury here tonight for them. So, but at the same time, for Dallas, they're coming off just an escape over San Antonio, which wasn't that impressive. Beat down Houston before that by 15, but that was at home. Now you're in H-Town, and Houston got the cover the last time they hosted the Mavericks. It was an overtime win against New York. It was just barely covering on Christmas Day against the Lakers. I still want no part of laying 7+ with Dallas. They've just been brutal in that role more often than not this year. So Houston or nothing for me. Skee, what do you think here?
Yeah, I would agree. It's no way I'm looking to lay, these kind of points with Dallas. I think they're 6-11 straight up and against the spread on the road. Expecting them to win by close to double digits. No way. Second worst rebounding team the last 5 games. You can get Sengun in there, and Rockets top 5 rebounding team the last 5. They can have a chance, get some, second chance points, et cetera, et cetera. So Rockets, probably first half will be the way I'll go, just in case. Sometimes Coach Silas like to tank over there and not play his starters at the end of these games. So I would probably get in and get out, but I can't talk anybody off the Rockets today.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. There's going to be so many great instances of spots where you want to take the really bad team and getting a good amount of points in a great spot, and yet you still in the back of your mind are thinking, well, this team's tanking for, the draft, and are they really all that excited about still finding ways to win these games? That's the tricky part, but you got to go with it. If it makes sense to bet the bad teams, you got to go with it, no matter that if there's the concern about that or not. What do you think here, Wham?
I'm going with my guy in the back, man. They actually thought it was me because I had my head face like this, and they thought this was my hand or some shit like. But for the most part, this is not me. This is Jabari Smith Jr.,
the
3-point specialist man himself, shooting 38% from the 3 this year. We know he's been going alternate. He's been alternate as well, just as much as the Dallas Mavericks have been. He's been alternate as well with 3-point makes. He's averaging about 1.8 3-point makes over the last few games. If I can be correct, last 6 games, shoot 30%, kind of getting on the back on the right side of that, though. He did go over this 3-point prop that we did take today, and we did take it at 1.5 3-point makes for Jabari at -120. And then we also took the over 2.5 3-point makes at +303. We did lock in the rebounds. I think Sengun is going to be out. I think the rebounds will be on him. So if you're going to go over the rebounds with him, you got to go over the 6.5, get the 7 rebounds to cash. That was at, I believe, -1. I actually got to get that one out again. That was at -130, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I believe that's -128. My fault. -128 for that one right there. So I'm locked in on that. But for the most part, in this game on the side, I know my boy LJ from H-Town just got off a show with him. He said he was going to be in attendance today. I think he's going to have that energy. I told him that Luka's going to go off, though. We do know that. What he's been doing lately, 51, 35, 60, 32, 50, and triple doubles in between those as well. I mean, he's doing everything, you know what I'm saying, for the Dallas Mavericks. Is Christian Wood going to show up? He did show up the last game. He didn't show up the first game against the Magic. This is the time for the Magic to kind of bite back. I think the guy that does it is going to be Jabari Smith. Hit those threes early, bro. Let those first two drop. We're going to be feeling good, and he's going to go over that, maybe even the double-double. He did get the double-double on the first meeting. So I like Jabari today. And then I think the Rockets are the side as well. I'm just scared, bro. I'm not going to lie. I'm in church with the side. Luka just pretty much could just run these boys out, but I think Jabari gets it done.
Yeah, we've got ourselves, by the way, if you're watching the college football stuff, Tulane and USC are going to have some kind of finish here late in this Cotton Bowl. So get ready, batten down the hatches there. All right.
See, real quick, seeing Jabari back at 1.5 though, that's kind of enticing right there. You know,
-120, bro. I had to hit it. Plus, come on, bro. I put the background up. You already know what time it is, man. Come on. And LJ and the like, man. Come on, bro. I'm here. Fuck it.
I like it. When Wham finds a dance partner for these player props, he keeps dancing with them. That's the way it goes. Absolutely. And he's found that right now with Jabari Smith for the Houston Rockets. All right. Next up, we've got Detroit, Portland. It's Portland 9.5-point home favorites, 232.5 being the total. Very high total here between these two teams. The Pistons actually have a winning point spread record on the road, believe it or not. They've actually been pretty solid, I remember, in this road underdog role. At least there was a road trip out west. They actually did pretty well when they were road underdogs. They are coming off a win against Minnesota. We'll see if they can keep that going here against Portland. Blazers all of a sudden are not necessarily playing as good, yet they do get back home, and they've been good at home. They've been a disaster on the road for the most part, Portland. But at home, you look at them lately. They beat Minnesota twice. One of them was by 21. The last home game as favorites, they were against Charlotte. They won by 11. You know, it's a team that sometimes does rise up. It's a really tough game from a side perspective because Portland's been good enough at home as home favorites that I could see them covering. But Detroit's had some success as the road dog. So you could see them maybe getting inside the number, and they're off a confidence-building victory against Minnesota. Portland has covered 4 straight against Detroit. Maybe I get there, look toward the over, if anything, but then Portland's gone under 4 straight. So, like I said, I was talking myself around in circles when I was looking at this game earlier, and I still am in that kind of situation. So probably won't bet it.
That.
What do you think here, Skee? Pistons, Blazers?
Yeah, I'm not in the business of laying points like this with the Blazers. You know, I talk about teams who I don't trust defensively. I'm not doing it. So it's either the Pistons or pass, and I don't feel that confident in the Pistons right now, so I'm just going to pass.
All right, it's a pass for Skee on this one. Wham, what do you think here?
Man, I got to get back in my spirit with Dutch, bro. I'm not going to lie. The Josh Hart prop at 10.5 is very enticing. He's went over that 5 straight games. They're ranked 29th in the position as well. You could possibly get a good spot with that, but this is a backwood, man. I'm going to stay away.
All right.
All right, next up here, we got Atlanta, Golden State. Golden State 1.5, 2-point home favorites here. 236.5 is the total. The Golden State Warriors, of course, you always with them have to check the lineup each and every single day, and they are very much a short-handed group tonight. Make no mistake about it. We know Curry out indefinitely, but Kuminga's out, Wiggins is out, Wiseman is out. It's going to be a Jordan Poole, Klay Thompson, not delivery. It's DiVincenzo, Draymond Green, and Kayvon Looney starting 5 for the Golden State Warriors tonight in this game. That's pretty much what we are looking at here against Atlanta tonight. So it is a patchwork Golden State lineup, but has it mattered the last 4 games? I mean, 4 straight home wins, Memphis, Charlotte, Utah, Portland, covering 3 of those 4. And in fact, you might have gotten a push with the Charlotte game, depending on when you bet it. They found ways to get the job done, and I have no confidence or faith whatsoever in the Atlanta Hawks right now. They've lost 4 of their last 5, 3 straight, playing zero defense right now. They get Trae Young back. Team actually gets worse. I mean, that kind of looks like what we've seen from them here the last few games. He is playing tonight because he missed a couple games ago. He comes back against the Lakers. They can't stop a nosebleed, on the defensive end of the basketball court in that game. Clint Capella's still out for the Hawks tonight. DeAndre Hunter questionable as that ankle injury continues to bother him. It's just, I'm on Golden State here, honestly. Money line minus 125. I don't care that they got a patchwork offense. They're dynamite at home, and I think this Atlanta team's a straight fade. They still are. So Golden State for me, minus 125. Skee, what do you think? Hawks, Warriors.
Yeah, the more I think about the game, why have I not bet it yet? Because it's been pretty simple over the past few years. Atlanta is garbage on the road.
Right.
Warriors are dominant at home, and so far this season has been the same. They've only lost 2 games. So until things change, I don't know why we expect it to be any different. I would look at the Warriors as well.
Yeah, and that's pretty much
Warriors.
it.
Go ahead. Yeah, Wham. Go ahead.
That's pretty much it. I was waiting on y'all. That's probably the only reason why I didn't bet it too, because this shit is obvious. Like, why are we playing? These teams are really good at the house. This team is terrible on the road. We don't trust them either. They have shown us recently that they're not that good. Plus, Golden State, they're actually 6-1 to the. Shout out to my guy Ronald Caban. He actually gave me this stat here: 6-1 to the under when playing an opponent. That goes under the all 7 games. So they actually went under all 7 games, but the team total under goes under as well. So not only take the side with the Warriors, possibly the under for the full game, but against this team, take the team total under as well. So I think that's a good way of looking at there, bro. But for the most part, bro, I don't know, man. Like, why do we take this shit already? I think I'm just waiting on y'all, man. So I think the money line is probably where I'm going to go with Babeno there. Just get away from the points, take the money line, call it a day.
If you're watching this college football game, the Cotton Bowl here, Tulane and USC. Number 1, Tulane's driving, might win the game. They've got it first and goal inside the 10, down 6 with like 20 seconds left. And number 2, there was just this big catch by a Tulane receiver, and there was a helmet-to-helmet collision, the receiver and the defensive back for USC, and they both got knocked out cold. They're both down on the field, both knocked the fuck out cold.
Great description. That's exactly what happened. I couldn't say it any better. I'm off of like 24 hours staying up and shit. I'll be like, I couldn't say that.
And so now there's a pause in the game because there's 2 guys down to they both the collision. It was like head to head, helmet to helmet, and bam, it knocked them both out. It looked like it's just
this line was at 3.5, I believe, right? Or did it move to 4 for UFC before the end of the I know it was pretty close game, so very interesting how these games play out like this.
Well, it's always like we know USC talent-wise is superior, but it's who's the more excited team. It's probably Tulane, and Tulane's like playing their guts out. Tulane's like playing the game of their life today because they want to play USC and beat USC so badly. So that's what makes these bowl games fun. You're seeing that today.
That's what your boy DJ Big Boss was saying. He said this is like Tulane's best time in school history to even come to the Cotton Bowl. They only went like one time in so many years ago, so they're excited to be here.
Yeah, and they might call targeting on this, and that'll move the ball up even further. But anyway, I digress. It's just I had to mention it. It's a crazy finish on the way here in this game. All right, next up, final game here of the NBA slate for this Monday: Miami Heat, LA Clippers. Clippers 1.5-point home favorites. 218 is the total in this one. Money coming in on the Miami Heat. This actually opened as high as 5, and obviously, it's going to be in response to the Kawhi Leonard situation. He's been added to the injury report, non-COVID illness. It's always something with this guy now. And now it's a non-COVID illness, and it's questionable for him tonight in this game. He's actually been playing a lot lately. Since December 5th, he's only missed 3 games, but he might miss his 4th since that time tonight because of this illness that he's dealing with, and that changes things a lot for the Clippers. Clippers have lost 2 in a row to the Celtics and the Pacers, losing 131-130 at home. Very interesting to see what's going on here with the Clippers. Defense has fallen off, but they're scoring points all of a sudden, and they've gone over the total now, 5-1 in their last 6 games. Meanwhile, the Miami Heat, you see them 126-123. They beat Utah. Denver, they lose 124-119. They continue to be up and down. We'll see how they fare here. I mean, they did win at Utah's Road Dogs. I understand why without Kawhi potentially playing, they're betting this down from 5.5 to 1.5 on Miami. What I am a little bit surprised with is that they are betting the under the way they are. Because you look at the Clippers, they've been better offensively. They have been suffering defensively a little bit, and it's not going to get any better defensively with Kawhi out. Say what you will about the points he gives them. He's just as important, if not more so, defensively. So I'm actually kind of leaning against this move and looking over 218. What do you think here, Skee? Heat and Clippers?
I'll be looking towards the Heat. I think it's more of a flat spot for the Clippers. And missing Kawhi, and that's never going to help either. But they've been traveling and on the road since before Christmas. And first game back at the house, they're human too. They got a lot of stuff they got to take care of. So I think Miami might be the more focused team for tonight. And Clippers, you think of them as that great defensive team. And especially if Kawhi's not out there to help too. They've already been a bottom 5 defensive rated team in the last 5 games. So I just really want to fade the Clippers tonight. And that gets me on the Miami side plus the points.
Yeah. What's fascinating here is we've got it's a situation here where we've got you're right, Miami on the road here against a banged up Clippers team. Clippers off that long road trip, and they get home New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. There probably was some celebrating going on. There must have been, a little celebration. It was right around the New Year, coming back home for the first time in a while. Definitely, I think, a situation where you could see that, they might be flat tonight, the Clippers. I think that's very possible. And so, I'm with you. I would only look Heat. And I like that over. Like I said, I don't understand why they love the under so much, the betting markets here, with what these teams have done. And like I say, Kawhi being on the floor, that's going to hurt the Clippers defensively for sure. What do you think here, Wham?
Yeah, we'll just I think that is a catch, man. You're right, Sam. That is a catch. But yeah, no, as far as this game, man, I think you guys might be right. The Heat may be a little bit more focused here. 7 straight overs in the last 7 meetings. Probably no defense in this game, I believe. So you might get a lot of offense there, but no Kawhi. Kind of interesting there. I wanted to wait for this game just to see how my action is looking out before I jump on this game. But I'm not gonna lie, I kind of think that the Clippers, even though they may not be as focused like Skee said, I think they may be the play here just because they're a better team, man. That's what gives me scared in this game. So I might not even be on this game, but I could see myself talking myself into betting the Clippers later on down the line. But I'm not gonna do that to y'all. I'll just say that.
All right, there we go. We are awaiting what we think is a potential go-ahead and maybe game-winning touchdown for Tulane here. I think they're going to reverse this incomplete ruling and call it a catch and a touchdown. It sure looked like he had it. So we will definitely keep you up to date on that as we have pandemonium here at the end of this Cotton Bowl Classic. And it is crazy. Living up to the word classic, this Definitely. Game here, Tulane and USC. But we'll keep you up to date on that. Hit the like button, 180 live viewers. We appreciate it. First NBA Pub Hub show of the new year. Show some love for 2023 for the channel, for the show. Hit the like button. We'll be back with best bets right after we hear from Manscaped and Southtown 101. All right, Southtown 101. When you're in San Antonio, Texas, stop in. Great food, drinks, live music, DJs, karaoke, Southtown 101, and manscaped.com. Promo code PubSports. Get 20% off and free shipping with anything at manscaped.com. Promo code PubSports. And yes, it was a touchdown, Tulane, and I pretty much figured it would be. Clearly, it was a catch, never hit the ground. 46-45 with the extra point. Good. So Tulane leads by 1 with 9 seconds left, and we're pretty much down to hook and lateral time for USC here in this bowl game. Incredible job by Michael Pratt. the dual threat quarterback. Just outstanding drive that he engineered. Great throws, great runs too with his legs, especially on fourth down a couple of times. So great job by Tulane. Great football game. Hopefully the Rose Bowl, which is coming up, is that good. And hopefully the NFL game is that good too tonight, because we have Cincinnati hosting Buffalo, a huge, huge game in the AFC tonight on Monday Night Football. And I will be on the live stream for the first half of that game tonight. The live stream starts at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you join us for that tonight right here on Pub Sports Radio. Looking forward to what should be a great and a very important game in the National Football League tonight. There is no college basketball net profit show today, by the way. Just too short of a card, so we will be back tomorrow, Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. Yours truly and Connor Mack with the next edition of the College Basketball Net Profit Show. All right, let's wrap it up. We got best bets here, our first best bet segment of the new year here on the NBA Pub Hub. Skee, we'll start with you. What do you like for best bet?
Yeah, I wrote the Wolves tonight. I just think they're going to be extremely motivated, and they got the rest advantage. We're going to fade Denver on that back-to-back tonight.
All right, there it is. Minnesota plus 2.5 against Denver. Best bet for Skee Profit. Wham, what do you got for best bet?
Man, I like a lot of shit, but I think brother Kyrie get us to the window as quick as possible here. Then we go back to Jabari. Y'all know what to do there. Over 3.5 with Kyrie Irving. Over 3.5 3-point makes, that is, at plus 120.
All right, there we go. Player prop best bet for Wham with the Monday slate. Yeah, you're right. That's a great point, Rance. USC needs to get an entire defense in the transfer portal. Yeah, it sure looks like that on a day like today. All right, best bet for me on this card. I'm going back to the New Oracle in the late slate. Golden State minus 125. I'm not going to overthink it. I'm not going to ask myself, why are they betting against Golden State at home with this miserable Atlanta team? If you actually look at these last 4 home games for Golden State, with the lineups being different every game for Steve Kerr, they've been betting against Golden State in every one of these recent home games too, these last few. And Golden State still won and covered here on their home court. I think they do so again. I'm liking Golden State here, minus 125 money line against Atlanta. That is going to be my best bet here for this Monday NBA card. And that'll wrap up this edition of the NBA Pub Up. Thanks to everyone in the chat for joining us. Hit the like button on the way out. And a reminder, the show is 5 days a week, Monday to Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern, and we will be back tomorrow with the NBA Pub Up. Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern, it'll be Dutch hopefully back, along with Durrell and Billy Briz on the show tomorrow. So make sure you join the show tomorrow. Looking forward to that for sure. In the meantime, everybody in the chat, hit the like button. We got the NFL Monday Night Football live bet stream tonight. Bills versus Bengals starting at 8 p.m. So join us for that. For Skee Profit and Wham, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Monday night. Enjoy the games and good luck. And we will be back tonight in NFL live bet stream. I will, and the show tomorrow once again with Durrell, with Dutch, and with Billy Briz at the Tuesday edition of the NBA Pub Hub. Everybody have a great night. Enjoy the games and good luck. Thanks for watching the NBA Pub Hub right here on Pub Sports Radio.